Welcome to the Arts and Science program May at Mac at Home. If you have received an offer, congratulations! We hope that you've had a moment to explore our website. The Arts and Science program is designed to provide students with a broad-based interdisciplinary education. It is a small, distinctive, and limited enrollment program of integrated studies in sciences, humanities, and social sciences. It stresses active, self-directed, and cooperative learning. There's an emphasis on social awareness and the development of a wide range of transferable skills, such as writing, speaking, and critical thinking. Our program is a community of like-minded students who love learning, are highly motivated, enjoy both the arts and the sciences, and don't want to choose between the two when selecting a program for their undergraduate education. The Honors Bachelor of Arts and Science program is a limited enrollment interdisciplinary program, and unlike other universities, is not a large faculty under which many programs fall. Rather, the Arts and Science program is the student's major. Our program brings students and faculty together in a lively intellectual environment conducive to collaborative learning. This program, with a target of 70 first-year students, remains small by design. The small class and tutorial sizes promote lively interaction between professors and students. The program director is hands-on and takes personal interest in every student. Staff have open-door policy for advising students. And given the small class sizes, instructors have the opportunity to get to know each student by name. Our Arts and Science program is unique in offering an extensive integrated core curriculum, which bridges the divide between the arts and the sciences, and also between academic study and social engagement. For the Honors Bachelor of Arts and Science degree, students take specifically designed ArtSci courses as well as electives. Over their 4 years, the program is made up of about half required courses and half electives. Students can choose to use their electives to pursue a combined honors program with over 30 different subjects from across the university. In addition to having their set of required arts and science courses, they would then have a set of required courses in the combined subject and then a smaller pool of electives. The number of electives will vary depending on the combination. Electives can also be used to satisfy broad interests or to pursue a minor. Arts and Science inquiry courses cover a range of disciplines and focus on the development of problem-based learning and critical thinking skills. Some examples of the inquiry courses that are offered are Alumni Inquiry, Medical Humanities, and How Science Speaks to Power. Details on these courses can be found on our website. The individual and collective expertise of Arts and Science faculty members, many of them award-winning teachers, enables the program to continue to forge new ground in undergraduate education. Our faculty have unique disciplinary backgrounds and are considered experts in their field. Arts and Science faculty work closely with students in the creative process of interdisciplinary inquiry. They also have dedicated office hours for our Arts and Science students and courses. Along with that, given the small class size, they do get to know students by name. Electives, experiential learning initiatives, and exchange opportunities allow students to tread new paths of discovery. Co-ops or internships, in the traditional sense, are not available within the Arts and Science program. There are, however, various other ways that students can gain valuable experience while completing their undergraduate education. Students interested in international study can apply to participate in an exchange program during their third year. Up to 25% of Arts and Science students spend all or part of their third year studying abroad through the Mac Abroad Exchange program. Arts and Science students have the opportunity to participate in different experiential education courses, such as local explorations, movement and integration, alumni experience inquiry, and interdisciplinary experiences. The New World of Work Forum is designed to provide hands-on project management experience to 4 students chosen to serve on the student project management team, as well as to bring in speakers and presenters to interact with arts and science program students on topics that reflect the world of work in the 21st century. The Arts and Science program has collaborated with the McPherson Institute to provide students with exciting ways to become involved with pedagogical research and innovation. Individual study and fourth-year thesis courses provide students an opportunity to work with researchers from across the university. The Arts and Science program prepares students for a variety of future endeavors and has a tradition of producing graduates who shine in a remarkable array of meaningful careers. Students graduate from the Arts and Science program with a Bachelor of Arts in Science, or for short, a B.Arts SC. Most graduates from Arts and Science pursue further education in a wide variety of fields, such as medicine, law, teachers' college, and graduate school. Our graduates enter these professional or technical programs with a well-equipped background. Arts and Science alumni have many opportunities to remain involved in the program after graduation. One example of this is through the Alumni Experience Inquiry course, where they interact with students and provide them with mentorship. See what our grads are doing today and how ArtsI helped them get there by visiting our Alumni Corner page on the Arts and Science program website. If you have any questions, please contact us, and if you haven't done so already, please be sure to visit our website, artsci.mcmaster.ca.
Hi, I'm Melanie, and I'm a graduating arts and science student. The reason why I chose arts and sciences is because I love both reading and writing, and being able to interpret and discuss, and really dig into issues around politics, around philosophy, around anything. But I also really love my math and sciences, and I would have been really sad if I'd been forced to choose one or the other, for which almost every degree forces you to do eventually. But fortunately, ArtsI doesn't make you do that. For example, I've been a calculus teaching assistant, but I've also been a literature teaching assistant in my time here. So it's really let me do both. And I know it would have been really sad if I had to choose a degree that made me choose just one direction. And I would have been really sad if I had to choose a career that only made me choose one direction as well. Which is why I ended up in coming into first year, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. But in second year, there's an economics course, an arts and science specific economics course you have to take. And the professor for that really understands that arts students are often very interested in social issues, in public policy. And so the course itself is very kind of public policy oriented. And when I took that economics course, I didn't know what econ was. I had no idea. When I took that course, I was like, wow, econ is such an important tool for us to understand the world. And it's also very much the melding, it's mathematical modeling, but it's all about the interpretation and the real world application of that. So I ended up deciding to combine my arts and science degree with economics, which just means that you take the elective credits from your arts and science degree and put them towards a certain area. So you can combine in many different areas, and you end up basically graduating with what's kind of like a double major. And this fall, I'm going to go to Queen's for a master's in economics, and hopefully I hope to go into economic policy afterwards. I've talked to some artsites who are in government policy, and it sounds like a really interesting place to be, where you can. It's a very practical way of being involved in the world and making change in the world, kind of on the policy scale. So that's the plan for now. Something really interesting I did in arts and science was I also went on exchange in third year. I went to Lyon, France, which was a really wonderful experience because it let me work on my French a lot. And you're there, you're taking classes. It's just a really wonderful experience to live somewhere else and experience different culture, as well as work on my French for a semester. So I would highly recommend it if you can. Probably my favorite part of arts and science has been the people, because I've never met students who are quite as intelligent, who are quite as engaged. I used to be sitting in classes, in English classes in grade 11 and 12, and there'd be discussion time, and it would just be me and the teacher. It would be super, super awkward, and I didn't feel challenged, I didn't feel engaged. And I was so delighted when I came into ArtSci, because it was the absolute opposite. I was surrounded by people who were, smarter than me in different ways, who were interested in different things from me, who loved learning, who loved what they were doing. And so I honestly, I know that I'll be best friends with the ArtScis in my year for the rest of my life, in my year and out of my year. And I really doubt that I'm going to meet as wonderful of a bunch of people as them ever again. It's just been such a blessing and such a remarkable opportunity to be able to get to know all of them, and be challenged by them and being inspired by them every day.
Hello, my name is John, and I just completed my 4th and final year in the Arts and Science program, which, as I'll explain, was an absolute blast. Just to start off, so why I chose Arts and Science in the first place, as many others, it wasn't necessarily that I wasn't sure what I was interested in, but rather that I was just interested in everything. I didn't want to give up my love of the arts to pursue the sciences, and vice versa. And although I applied to other programs that had more specific focuses, arts and science always felt like it was the most uncompromised option of those. So much so that I don't recommend this, but I never actually visited McMaster before accepting my offer of admission to arts and science. It was just as soon as I saw the course list, and there were especially particular courses like literature that I looked through the syllabus, and I just thought this was the program for me, regardless of what school it was at. Even though McMaster is an incredible place, this program is so unique and so special. And since accepting my offer to admission, and these last action-packed 4 years, there have definitely been some highlights that especially stand out amidst the phenomenal program that it is. One of the special highlights about arts and science is that you can do a combination. So you have a lot of elective space in arts and science, but you can also use that elective space to really specialize in another area of interest, which I did in the psychology, neuroscience, and behavior department, which really allowed me to dive in this area that is kind of a blend of arts and science in itself. There's a lot of philosophy, there's a lot of more neuroscience heavy stuff, and it allowed me to really dive deep enough into that area that when I subsequently applied to psychology-specific graduate programs, it was not an issue at all. So you're able to have this general, broad-based kind of jumping off point that you can then use to specialize in simultaneously in something else, or you can keep it general, as many of my friends did, and use your elective space to do whatever you want. Another amazing part of arts and science is their encouragement of going on exchange, which I did to the University of Amsterdam. Many of my friends went elsewhere. I think close to a third of my cohort went on exchange in our 3rd year. And it's really highly encouraged. It was an amazing experience and definitely made easy because of the arts and science elective space available and the experiential learning that's often pushed in this program. We also have an amazing course called Movement and Integration that's unique to the arts and science program that really helps you learn a lot about yourself through the experience of exchange when you come back or before you go. I was also very involved in the vibrant arts and science community. I live in a house with 3 other arts and science students. I was the captain of the Arts and Science intramural ice hockey team. We have a lot of sports that are surprisingly good given the small size of the program. We also have an ArtSci musical that I personally wasn't involved in, but is always a highlight of the year. We have coffee houses, which are kind of talent shows, but you don't need to be talented because I participated in them. And I also participated in Welcome Week, which really just shows the kind of vibrant nature of the McMaster-wide community, but also the special closeness and family nature of the arts and science community. Um, Now that I've completed my 4 years, I'm very fortunate to have been accepted into McGill's clinical psychology program, and will start in the fall. And thankfully, I'll be working with an arts and science grad as my supervisor. And through this, I think it'll really help me to use the arts and science kind of values of interdisciplinary learning, critical thinking, constant inquiry, and just this diverse knowledge base to really tackle these broader questions with an interdisciplinary view. And beyond just what I plan to do with my degree in terms of career, I think just having these skills that have been taught throughout arts and science about staying connected, staying knowledgeable about the communities in which I live, as well as the global challenges that we may unknowingly be contributing to, I think will help me to be a more engaged citizen in the world. And I think because of all these skills that I've learned, I truly think that choosing arts and science was the right choice. I couldn't be happier. It truly exceeded all my expectations. By no means was it all fun and games, and university shouldn't be all fun and games because you're trying to learn, you're trying to grow. But the lifelong friends that I made in the program and the supportive atmosphere of the entire arts and science community, from the professors to the just entire arts and science community, the students in all years, just really support. The support really allows you to have immense personal growth, not only intellectually but also otherwise. And these courses that I didn't think I would, were really my type. I ended up loving courses that I knew I was particularly interested in, really just kept stimulating my love and aptitude for that area. And I think it really fosters that really generalized interdisciplinary yearning for knowledge. So I think in conclusion, I would say if you're looking for a small, tight-knit program that really challenges and engages you intellectually in all areas, while leaving room for you to explore subjects that you have unique interest in, and a program that really just envelops you top-down in positivity, collaboration, and a support system that will be with you your entire life, I would highly encourage you to consider joining the Arts and Science program.
So hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Beth Marquis, faculty in the Arts and Science program and School of the Arts.
And I'm Dr. Savelli. I am split between the Arts and Science program and the Department of Health, Aging, and Society. And we are your co-instructors for ArtSci 1CO3, Inquiry into Global Challenges.
Yeah, so maybe we could start by talking a little bit about that course then. So do you want to start us off, Dr. Savelli, by kind of explaining what we mean by global challenges and what we do around them in this class?
Sure. So global challenge is kind of a catch-all term that describes most of many of the biggest and most significant pressing issues facing humanity. We're concerned with issues like inequality, environmental degradation, problems related to gender-based violence. We don't really stray from the heavy topics in the class, but we do our best to make studying it enjoyable. What would you add? What am I leaving out in terms of global challenges?
I think you covered most of the bases. Maybe I'd just add that we also spend some time in the latter half of the course thinking about and analyzing strategies for addressing some of those major challenges or problems. So not just kind of understanding what underpins them and what they entail, but also thinking about how we might move forward towards positive social change.
Yeah, the silver lining part of the course, I should probably mention that. One of the things that's really interesting about teaching a course like this and taking a course like this, like many of your art sci courses, it's thoroughly interdisciplinary. So we're not approaching it just from the lens of sociology, just from the lens of geography. I'm actually a historian of medicine by training. Dr. Marquis, do you want to talk about your own?
Yeah, For sure. My background is actually in film and cultural studies, so a very humanities kind of approach that I bring.
Yeah, and we've both been teaching the course for a long period of time, and teaching it together for several years now. And um, I would confidently say that the global challenges part is a nice break from the other sorts of things I do, and it takes up issues I'm really passionate about. The other nice
Mhm.
thing about the course, though, is the way it's actually taught. So it's taught using something called an inquiry style methodology. I will turn it over to Dr. Markey to explain what that is.
Yeah, so I always joke that the course that we co-teach is the most important course in the first year of the arts and science curriculum, which, you know, is of course just a joke. They're all very important. But the reason I say that is because this kind of inquiry methodology or inquiry approach really does underpin a lot of what the program is about. And it's a style of teaching and learning that's really focused not on just learning and memorizing content, but really kind of engaging with ideas by asking strong questions about them and learning to explore and respond to those questions in a scholarly way. So while we take up many of these broad global challenges that Dr. Savelli was talking about in the class, it's not really taught as just kind of us standing up and lecturing about those things, but really classes are a process of kind of us setting the stage and trying to engage people in discussion and conversation and kind of modeling a practice of asking and exploring questions about these issues. And then that really carries through into the assignments that kind of provide some structure to the course as well. So every student in the course is responsible for developing their own research question about an issue connected to global challenges that really resonates with and is of interest to them. And then there's several kind of stages in a scaffolded assignment by which you would explore that question and do some research about it, and finally develop a paper that allows you to respond persuasively to that question in a scholarly way. So it's a really great process. I think that there's some good research that supports the efficacy of it as well, that helps you kind of develop your own sort of scholarly voice and kind of practice asking and responding to questions, which you'll then be expected to do as you go through your academic career. Yeah, what would you add? Anything that I missed there?
You didn't miss anything. You did actually a great job explaining it. One thing I would say is it really will feel very different from a lot of other university courses that people might take. Certainly very different from most of the other classes I teach. And actually, it's the joy as an instructor seeing students able to pursue the topics that are meaningful to them. Yeah. And I don't think we have had many over the year where we've outright said, no, that's not an acceptable topic of research. And it's a delight to see the sort of things that people are interested in. So I actually learn a ton from teaching this course. Yeah. And that's because of the students.
Yep, I say that every year. It's fascinating to see the topics that people come up with, and you do learn a lot just by working through them with people, for sure. Are there other things you'd add about why you enjoy teaching this particular course?
Yeah, I think I like the complexity of studying these topics. It's not that sort of class where we're trying to provide people with simple answers or we're trying to think about it in black and white ways. And that's actually really liberating. That's something that's nice as an instructor, because it means that I don't know if you feel the same way. I never feel pressure to give students the answer. I instead feel free to say, hey, listen, let's talk about this incredibly complex problem that's touching people on all sides of the globe, and let's explore why it's not as simple as saying, oh, there's one way of responding to it or there's one way of understanding.
Mm-hmm. No, I 100% agree, and it's great to hear the different perspectives that people bring to those questions and issues as well, adding to that kind of complexity and depth, for sure.
For sure. And you kind of hinted at this before. I don't know if you want to say more about it, but this course does sort of get people, or it does act as a springboard for people into the rest of the arts and science program. And I know most people looking at this video probably have made their mind up already, but for anyone who was wondering, what is this program about? What else might you say?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting and great program. I always say I wish that I had known about it when I was thinking about undergraduate education, because it is a program that really allows people to meaningfully engage in a wide breadth of material in kind of complex and deep ways. So just the range of courses that people are both expected to take as part of the required curriculum, but also then able to take in terms of upper level electives within the program, really allows people to kind of try out a lot of different things, maybe get more in-depth information about stuff that they know they're interested in, but also equally importantly, expose themselves to things they might never have thought they would be interested in before. Both of us, as you know, teach at several levels of the program. So I teach a first-year course, a third-year course, and a fourth-year course. And I find it just amazing to listen to people as they move across the 4 years of their degree. And many of them have talked about really finding something that they thought, they didn't even want to have to take this class, but then they took it and it became a new passion for them. And they're, looking forward to continuing doing work in that area. Or, maybe they expose themselves to something new and that, they might not go forward in that, but it was still a really interesting and valuable addition to their education. So I think it is a unique program in that it really does allow you to experience that breadth of ideas in a kind of complex and interdisciplinary way. The inquiry approach I mentioned before, also pretty unique, and that comes with having a smaller cohort of people that are engaged in the program. So there's different kinds of teaching and learning that can happen when you're not in huge classes. And I think that's, I find it just a joy to be able to teach in that sort of context as well. And of course, that also comes with opportunities to really develop a community so that students get to know one another, students and faculty get to know one another, and you really do become kind of part of the arts and science community as part of the 4 years that you're there.
Yeah,
so those come to mind to me.
I couldn't agree more. I was going to say, I do feel like the relationships that we develop are really special. Before Dr. Marquis and I started recording this, we were talking about how sad we were that some of the fourth-year students graduating. We wouldn't get to see them again. And although that is a sad thing, that sadness it's only possible because of the program's size and more specifically, I think the sort of philosophy of the program that stresses those instructor-student relationships.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. All right. Well, everyone enjoy the rest of your summer, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall.
If you have any questions, please contact us. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to visit our website, artside.mcmaster.ca.